Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we'll be talking about automation of business process. We're going to take a look at how web data forms can help you automate a business process. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're a big Fortune 500 company or whether you're a small startup. There's a lot of processes that go on from day to day. Some of them are repetitive, some of them are not. Um, and a lot of these processes will take up a lot of time, uh, you know, and they, obviously there's options of automating these processes, but you need to set up a system, you need to hire programmers, get them to code something for you, and automate that process. But and obviously not every process is covered by that kind of automation. So web data forms actually provides a very simple and easy way to automate, almost any business process that you want to automate. Um, so carrying on from our previous example of a company, a construction company called Acme Construction, and taking it a step further, let's assume that Acme Construction has equipment, heavy equipment that, they have limited number of equipment and they have multiple job sites and they need to, have the equipment booked or reserved for a particular day, date, time, etc. So that, you can pre-book the equipment and use it at different sites. Uh, let's take a look at how we can automate something like that. So right now I'm on my dashboard page for Acme Construction, and for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, uh, you know look at the links and see the tutorials and the other tutorials to see how we got to this point, how to create a simple form, etc., etc. And then if you have any questions, refer back to the other tutorials. So let's create, I'm going to call it scheduler or a booking form for equipment. So to get started, I am going to click on the new button here and start a new form or data template. Forms and web data forms are called data templates, and I'm going to start a new data template here. Okay, so let's assume that Acme Construction has just the one excavator, which obviously they want to use at different job sites. So let me start off by creating my title here, and I'm going to call it excavator, and then let's say Jan 2024, 25 actually, and then I'm going to leave that as active. Visibility, I want to make it private. I don't want anybody from the general public filling in this form, and it's going to be a single submission because we want to only maintain one copy of this form. I do not need access via API, and so that's done. Let's move on to the next section, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on this more button here, and they have something called a month calendar. So if I click and drag the month calendar down here, it's giving me, it's showing me, because I selected January 2025, sorry, actually, I have to select it here. Right now, by default, the first month, it's 0 indexed. So the first month is selected, which is 0, and the current year is selected. For my purposes, this is exactly what I want, but if I wanted a different month, I would change that number here. And then if we, look down a little bit further here, it's showing me how this form is, currently looking for. So for each date, whatever inputs you need can be added here. and we have the option of having a checkbox, a text input, or a label. Right, so right now, as you can see, there's a checkbox. That's the checkbox right there. And then we have a text input, and that's a text input right there. So we're going to change this around a little bit. And what I'm going to have is, let's say we'll leave the checkbox there, and we will change the label, and we will say booked for the label. And then let's change this to yeah, actually we can leave the text input there, and then we can say note. I want this to be a note, and actually let's make this a little more complicated. So let's assume that they want to use this. They can book a morning shift or an afternoon shift. And you have the morning. You have a booking for the morning for the excavator, and you can also have a booking for the afternoon for that same excavator. So just to make it a little complex and just to demonstrate how you can use this form, let's do that. So in that case, my first input is going to be a label, and I'm going to say morning here. And my next input is going to be a checkbox, and I'm going to say booked, and I'm going to add another, and this one is going to be a text input, and I'm going to say note in case you want to make a note. Then I'm going to add another one, and this is going to be a label, and let's say I just want to get some sort of divider in here, so I'm just going to put that divider, and then I'm going to add another, and this is going to be a label, and I'm going to say afternoon here, add a checkbox, and say booked, and then add another text input for a note. So you can add a short note here, and I'm going to say note again. So as I was making these changes, you can see on the right hand side my form, or my form element, or my data template element has already updated with whatever I'm putting in there. So if you look at it, this seems about right, because we need a morning and afternoon shift, and you can book the excavator twice, either in the morning or the afternoon, for every single day. So obviously the idea is that you check the booked button if it was booked for the morning of the 5th, and then you can add a note, you can put an address there or something else, and then the same thing would apply for the afternoon shift. So I think this seems okay, and as you can see, the days and dates are shown correctly, and that's exactly what we want. So obviously the first is on a Wednesday, and that's how it's showing this to me, and I think this seems okay. So let's do save here, and now I'm back to my main page, and I think for this particular automation, the booking automation, I don't think I need to put anything else. I already have a title for this, and it says excavator. Let's make that excavator booking Jan 2025, and then I think we're okay. I don't think we need anything else. I'm going to save this data template, and now it's saved it, and it's saying you can continue to make changes. I don't want to make changes. I'm good, so I'm just going to go back to my main page, and then I'm going to go and look at my data templates, and as you can see, it's showing me my data template here, and it's telling me it's a private form, a single submission only, no data access via API, and it's currently active. Just for organization's sake, let's say we have a public data template folder here. Let's create a new one at the root and call it private data templates. Okay. So now we have a folder here, and then we have this kind of structure over there. Let's say we wanted to, let's say we create another folder here and we call it equipment. And then let's create one more, make it even more complex, and we call it booking. Okay, so there we go. And then I want to move this to that folder. So I moved it, and now that form is showing up here. So that form is done, and we can take a look at, and obviously because this is a single submission, it's showing me, obviously I can modify the data template here. I can modify my current submission. There can only be one submission for that form, and I can even take a look at my current submission. Obviously we haven't made a submission yet, so there'll be nothing there. And if we go into the more detailed section, it's basically showing me mostly the same information, but it's also telling me who all can make changes to this particular data template. So anybody who's an admin has the ability right now to modify this form or make submissions against it. Right now, this is the only user on the system, and they have admin access and they have access to this data template. So going back, let's take a look at, let's say we wanted to modify this current submission. I don't think we need to make any other changes to this, so let's see how you would modify the current submission. So there you go. It's basically showing me the form that I created. Now let's say someone wanted to make a booking in the morning for the 15th of January. So I would say, okay, book this, and then maybe I just want to put a job site name, and so let me just put King Street. This is more like a note to let us know where it was booked and where the booking is for. And I am just going to go and submit this form, and it has, as you can see, it's saved that. And if I was to go back, go to equipment booking, and then modify current data submission, I would come here, and as you can see, it's showing me that that information that I just put in there. One more thing, and if I was to actually go and look at my current submission, it would show me that that's my current submission there. It's telling me that who the person was that made that last change. And for this one we don't really necessarily need any of the workflow elements, but if you wanted to, you could use the workflow elements as well. So right now, again, if I look at my current submission, it's telling me the status is received. By default it's low priority, and by default it's a general. The type is always general, and it's unassigned. I don't really need to assign this to anyone at this point, and it's showing me my current booking for the 15th that we just made. Obviously I can even make the change here. I can say modify this submission here, check that and make my changes here. And if if I wanted to put a note or something, or change the status over here, I could, right? So for example, I can just let's say I don't want to see received status over there. I can just say, okay, I'll put it into in progress for now, and no need for a comment. I'm just going to update this, and as you can see now my status is in progress, and it's unassigned as it should be, and that's it. So automating a simple process like equipment booking was as simple as that. Drag and drop one element into a form, put the fields that you want in there, and that's it. And imagine that you can use this form for so many things. You can put a scheduler in there. You can put, if you're running a restaurant or something and you have different, morning, afternoon, evening shifts, you can put that in there. You can assign people to those, whichever shift you wanted to, etc., etc. And the possibilities are literally endless. If I just go back here, I just wanted to show you, and if I wanted to make an edit to this form, I've made a submission against it already, so the edit will not be allowed at this point. But if I hadn't, and I wanted to make an edit, I just want to show you that, the whole power of this form is, or form element is in these fields here. I just made the form the way I wanted to make it, but obviously you can tailor it by adding whatever field you want in there, tailor it to your needs, right? So obviously right now we're using it as a booking form for a particular piece of equipment, but this can of course be used for a lot of things, and this will help in automating business processes by quite a bit. Anyways, I'm going to cancel that and come to the end of this. Okay, so I think we will take this a step further. We will, instead of users making changes to this form directly, we will set up another form where users will make a request. So, and those users may or may not have admin access, and they may not be able to make changes to this form. We will just give access. That request form will have limited access, and can have multiple users. So maybe there's employees in the field that need to make that request. You obviously don't want them to come directly to this form and make that request. You want them to fill up a form where they actually make the request, and then someone in the in the office can either approve or reject that request, and they can update this particular data template when that happens. So that we'll come to that in part 2 of this tutorial. As you saw, like, automation is quite simple, and the possibilities are endless. It's up to you how you want to automate business processes, but there's a lot that you can do with web data forms. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel. That way you'll always stay up to date with our very latest videos. And if this video brought any value to you, please like the video. Thank you so much, and bye for now.